Hey YouTube, Rick Steele Customs coming at you today with another video, this time on tire safety. It's very important to inspect your tires. I would do it every 6 months just to make sure you don't have any nails or bulges in the tire. And when you do it, I want you to turn the tire, as I have this one, so you can check the inside of the tread as well as the outside of the tread. These tires are Michelin's, and since I live in the desert, Michelin's dry rot pretty quickly. I did notice earlier that I have these fine cracks in between the tread. That's not all that dangerous, but it is getting down to the point where you should be considering replacing them. This here, if you can see this little bar going between the treads across, that is your wear bar. If these tires didn't have any dry rot whatsoever, I would use these tires for a while longer, at least until it got flush. The tread got flush with that wear bar, and the wear bar runs all the way across the entire tread. There's one here, and there's another one somewhere. There's one here. Usually they're right across the entire tread in a straight line, but for some reason I can't find the one on this particular valley. But also you want to put your hand on the inside and feel for a bulge. Bulges usually occur when you hit a curb. The rear tires on these Michelins seems like it's in a little better shape. I don't see any cracking between the treads. And interestingly enough, this tire is a 285 35 18. These came with a 45,000 mile warranty. The front's only a 35,000 mile warranty, and they're the exact same tire. But one thing, these don't have as much dry rot, and they're wider. I don't know why that would make a difference, but the front tires, of course, they turn right and left, which will cause a little bit steeper tread wear. So that's the only thing I can guess, that for the reason these having 35,000 mile warranty instead of the back. But these only have about 430 seconds left. They originally came with 30 seconds worth of tread depth. And that's the depth of the and height of the inner tread area here, this valley. The tread used to be 30 seconds, now they're 430 seconds. But I can tell you, this car's only got 20,000 miles on these tires. And the fronts are 255/40 ZR18s. But the reason you should check your tires periodically is because this particular car, I never drive it. I put very little miles on all my vehicles because I have so many of them. But this is what you want to look for. This is when they become dangerous. So here's this little span, about 4 or 5 inches, where the tread hasn't separated yet. But here we have a separation, beginning of a separation. And here's a good stretch with no separation. There's a beginning. And you can see that the tread is starting to really dry rot here. And there's about 3 inches of separation here. And a little span with none. And then this huge separation there. Another good chunk there. And of course there's a little bit in the tread. But anyway, I know my cars. I feel for them when I'm driving them to see if there's any kind of odd vibrations or shimmies or squeaks or knocks or rattles. I check for all that. I know my cars as well as I know myself. Anyway, the other day I got in this car, started driving it, and it did not feel right. It felt like there was a slight vibration coming from the front steering axle. So I decided, you know what, I better check it. And that's what I found. These Michelins are very prone to dry rot in the desert area. Also, if you leave a car sitting, these actually have oils in the rubber. They need to be centrifugally spun in order to send the rubber, the oils in the rubber towards the outside, because they're always going to dry rot from the outside in. And if you let them sit, they dry rot even faster, which is why I've only gotten 20,000 miles out of these nearly $1,500 tires. Or actually, I think I paid $1,200 for these. I paid $1,500 for the ones on my Camaro, and I went with Michelin's again, but only those are PS4s, or as I like to call them, PlayStation 4s. These are PlayStation 3s. Pilot Sport 3. PlayStation 3s, that's what I like to call them. That's a good way for you to remember, too, what kind of tire you're looking for if you want to buy a set of these Michelins. But I'm going with something a little different this time. I'm going with Yokohamas. Doing my research on them, Yokohamas don't tend to dry rot as fast as these, and they actually come with a 55,000 mile warranty, which is definitely a bonus. Anyway, let's see what those look like. Just got back from Discount Tire Store with the new Yokohamas, and boy, I can tell you, it's a huge difference in the way these things perform. But of course, these are brand new. The ones I took off, the Michelins, those were 7 years old. And dry rot. I thought I'm gonna have to make an appointment for the alignment shop on this thing, because I didn't want to start wearing out these tires. But hell, this car don't need an alignment. It wasn't the alignment that was bad. It was actually the tires, especially this right front one, as you saw, had that dry rot split going down the inside edge. And when that actually split, the surface of the tire was no longer flush. It was actually bulging out right here a little bit, causing the tire to pull the car to the right. Now you let go of the steering wheel and it goes straight as an arrow. No vibrations whatsoever. Or, of course, with that messed up tire, it was vibrating. Thus far, I'm very happy with this purchase, going from the Michelins to the Yokohama. It's a good looking tire as well. So thus far, yeah, I would definitely recommend these. And according to Discount Tire, these aren't going to dry rot anywhere near as fast as the Michelins. And these were about $200 cheaper than the Michelins for the set. Of course, always make sure, if you want to go with the Michelins, make sure that they have if they have a rebate or not. The Yokohamas don't have a rebate. The Michelin right now actually does have a rebate of like I think it was $100. So I'm still glad I went with these instead, just for the longevity factor. But anyway, that's going to conclude this video, an episode of Rick Steele Customs. And anyway, if you guys got anything out of this, I'd certainly appreciate a subscription, possibly a thumbs up, or if you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down, and just to be sure, hit that button twice. Also, these tires are unidirectional. Over at Discount Tire, they busted my center cap. But he's going to order me a brand new one, free of charge, and I'll get that back on in about 5 days when it arrives. But huge improvement. I wound up paying about, I don't know, a little more than $1,100. You actually get a 5% discount by using your Discount Tire card if you have one. I took off the road hazard warranty. Initially, he told me it was over $1,300. The tires themselves were like $965 for the 4. So if you have your tire mounting machine at home, then you can save yourself some money there. But of course, most people don't have a balancer. Definitely got to get them balanced. Anyway, have yourself a great one, and we'll see you next time on Rick Steele Customs. Out.